Welcome to Wild Wine Life Vine Chat. We're here with Tamara Roberts, with the CEO of Ridgeview Wines, a wonderful sparkling house in Great Britain. And we have been talking about your portfolio, and the thing that really caught my eye is the sparkling red. And what really, and on your tech sheet or recommendation, you said recommend with smoky barbecue and grilled summer dishes. Now, as an American, especially here in the Midwest, we're very proud of our barbecue. And I have to admit, I was shocked that I'm seeing barbecue listed in Great Britain as a recommendation. So, where did you pick up a love for barbecue? And was this wine made specifically for barbecue? Or did you kind of get the idea from Aussie sparkling Shiraz and you said, oh, we could do that with Pinot?
It's actually quite an Australian influence. So my brother, when we first started Ridgeview, whilst we were setting up growing the grapes, it takes a little while planting to getting a vintage. He went over to Australia to sort of cut his teeth. He didn't have a background in wine, so he went and joined Brown Brothers over in South Australia, and worked there for their vintage back in probably 95, 96. And over there met his now wife, who came back with him and still works with us, and still here, and she's our communications director. And he developed a real love of Australian wines, or investigated and a deeper understanding of Australian wines. And I think like you say, it was the Australian Shiraz, I think, that with the barbecues over there, which were obviously a really big thing, that sort of, I think, sparked this interest. And many years ago, he did make a sparkling red, a very small batch of sparkling red. But being a sparkling house, we didn't really back then have proper red wine making facilities. We didn't have the distemmers and the crushers and the fermentation tanks required for it. So it's only recently that we came back to the project, or he came back to the project and said, look, I've got more grapes available. We had more grapes available. It was a warm season, so really good for extraction. And we then invested properly in decent kit for him to experiment with the red wine making, which we do use in our rosés. So it was, it's beyond just the red wine project. But yeah, he was very, very excited to then bottle and release the red reserve, and it's gone down an absolute storm. Actually, one of the, I suppose more of a British feel on it. The barbecues are great, but it goes really well with our roast Sunday lunches. I'm sure you're well aware of just how addicted to roast dinners on a Sunday we are over here. So and it goes absolutely perfectly with that. In fact, we have a restaurant here now, and over the winter we put roasts on the Sunday, but we just kept going, and it's been going all the way through the summer. I mean, people just cannot get enough of a Sunday roast, it seems, even when it's swelteringly hot over here. So that's exactly that's the perfect place again for a sparkling red. And it is lovely, I have to say. Unusual, which I quite like as well. It catches people by surprise, and that's always nice.
We get 37 and better Celsius degree weather here in the Midwest.
Right.
It is the last day of September, or for Fahrenheit, supposed to be 88, 90 degrees here in St. Louis.
Wow.
But that would be so wonderful. We have, if you're ever looking for American barbecue, you can always recommend some American barbecue experts to come out and do a barbecue for you at the winery to go with that.
We should definitely do that.
Do a big pig roast, American slabs of ribs and brisket, and all that wonderful sparkling. I tell people, bubbles in the summertime, your rosé, but that sparkling red. I fell in love with that kind of wine on a 100-degree day with barbecue one time, and it's always something to go to.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Now, that would be fun. Do you ever come to the United States, and have you ever come over here and tried our barbecue?
I've not. I've been over when the last few times I've been over, it's been Texas, and I think I was over in California over for a little bit. My brother occasionally goes over as well, but I think next year we're planning. So I think next year I'm definitely going to plan to get over there and have a bar. Where will I get the best barbecue? I suppose is the key thing. I mean, is it?
It's, here's the funny thing. I mean, I'm from St. Louis. We would say ours is the best. But it's so regional. Like you go down to the Carolinas and they have like a vinegar base. You go to Memphis and St. Louis, we are a dry rub area. You go down to Texas or Kansas, they have a lot of beef. So it's what are you in the mood for, and then you kind of find which style you like.
You could have like a barbecue themed journey across the US, which sounds to me quite exciting and enticing, actually. So yeah, there we go. Maybe that'll be my next trip.
Yeah, after you get finally,
like selling my wine to everyone as I go.
Navigate the archaic liquor laws in the United States as you go from state to state trying to find a wholesaler to pick up your product. You can take them to dinner for barbecue to show how versatile the bubbles are as you transverse the South.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to need some sustenance and definitely some wine to get through that amazing or not so amazing archaic rules and trying to understand them for each state as well. It is a minefield, and we've tried a bit of both. We've tried going on a state by state basis. We've tried a more national approach with somebody who can go to the states, and it's incredibly difficult. I honestly don't think timing's everything as well. COVID particularly obviously didn't help anything at all. So we're kind of back to square one now, rebuilding and seeing where the best route to market is. It's you guys don't make it easy. I have to say it's incredibly difficult.
When we repealed prohibition, the federal government allowed every state to have their own laws. So every state has more screwed up liquor laws than the next, is what I tell everybody. It can be a wonderful thing and it can be a very bad thing.
Yeah.
If you're new to the market or trying to establish yourself, it can be a very difficult, daunting task. But at the same time, at least it's 50 different firewalls of sorts that if there's an issue where it can make it very difficult for a big guy to kind of squeeze you out nationally.
Yeah. No, like you say, it does have its pros and cons, doesn't it? And you don't forget the pros even when you're tearing your hair out a little bit about it. So, but no, I mean, we are determined. It's a market. I think we just think should love and should be embracing English sparkling wine. I just think we wouldn't want you to miss out on it. So let's try and get it to as many hands as we possibly can.
And right now you ship to New York, so anybody watching this in New York can enjoy your wine. Or if you have a friend that lives in New York, they can always buy it for them and bring it to them or ship it. Just don't say that there's adult beverages in the box that they're shipping cross state, especially if you're going to go to states like Pennsylvania. I'm not encouraging any kind of thing like that.
Absolutely
the other thing is you are also the president of the International Wine and Spirits Competition, and you've won Business Person of the Year back in 2019, Business Woman of the Year in 2016, I think.
Possibly, yeah.
You, in some ways, as I was reading your bio, you're the next generation. You're almost like the modern English Lady Clicquot in the way that you've really built. Has anybody ever mentioned that? I mean, look at how you've taken things up. You're trying to open up the new market like she did with Russia.
Yeah, that's incredibly flattering, but no one has actually mentioned that, and it is lovely to win the accolades, obviously, and just feel that what you're doing is reassure that you're doing the right thing And I think that for me as well is, the wines win awards and that's really good, but we're also a business and we need to run the business well. And I think that, and have ambition and have those things. And I think having both sides just reflects really, really well back on the family as well, in terms of our, I suppose, our ambitions really, and how joined up we are on both sides. But yeah, I mean, I was president of the IWSC. I think I was only maybe the second or third female president, definitely the first English wine industry president of the IWC, and that was back in 2020. Actually, they rotated it every year, so I had my glory in 2020, which was a real privilege. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be invited to do those things and to see the work that we've done as a family being recognised. It's great.